Hey everyone, I'm Total Sumbro, and today I want to talk about faith.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Hey, don't run from the Lord!
Faith in the Souls games is really useful as support, and later in the games does fairly good damage, but it can take a while to ramp up. However, the characters that teach faith-based miracles can themselves be pretty interesting. A character's pious nature doesn't necessarily mean that that character is good. Today, we're going to be talking about Petrus of Thorolund. He's the initial merchant for miracles in Dark Souls. When you first talk to him, he seems dismissive. Eventually, after you continue to try to talk to him, he brushes you off by offering a single copper coin. It's interesting that he offers this to you, as it probably exists as a currency in Thorolund, but here in Lordran, it's not. We deal in souls. All the merchants accept souls, and we use souls. That's not to say the copper coin is worthless. It has a use in Dark Souls, but you don't purchase anything with it, and he's offering it to the player almost as a sort of alms. That we're requesting from him. If you further speak with him, he basically insinuates that you aren't worth talking to. And eventually, he'll allow you to learn his gesture. Shrug. He doesn't care that you, the player, are here. He doesn't care that you're here talking to him, and he doesn't want to be speaking to you. He has a general sense of apathy that can be felt through his dialogue and through the supporting context clues, right? Once another one of the miracle trainers, Rhea of Thorolund, arrives at Firelink Shrine, he will agree to teach you miracles without joining the Way of the White Covenant. Rhea of Thorolund is the daughter of House Thorolund. She's some sort of nobility from that region, and she's accompanied by two companions, Nico and Vince. Petrus seems to have been scouting ahead for Rhea, Nico, and Vince, and once they all arrive in Firelink, I guess their plan is that they say they're going to make their way down into the catacombs. Now, why would clerics from a foreign land come to Lordran, the land of the Hollows? If you pay him, Petrus will tell you, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers. And then, I think what he's referring to is the rite of kindling that you can get down in right before you get to the Tomb of Giants from Pinwheel. The flavor text on the rite of kindling reads, "This secret rite allows bonfires to be bolstered further with kindling, so that even more Estus can be collected." Kindling was a sacred rite passed down among clerics, but all undead can imitate the process in the same manner that they restore their hollowing with humanity. How peculiar that humans have found little use for humanity until they turned undead. So Rhea and her companions are on a mission as undead clerics to seek kindling. There are two possibilities that I see based on what we know so far. Option 1 is that Rhea and her companions are undead and have essentially been sent away from Thorolund on a quest that's really only meant to dispose of the undead as they appear. This is supported in-game because that's what these countries are doing with Hollows. Our Hollow starts in a prison sent off to the north where Hollows are, and we have made our way back to Lordran, right? It's not outside of the realm of possibility that Rhea and her companions have just been sent away as kind of untouchable, as an unwanted thing in Thorolund. Option 2 is that Rhea and her companions are questing to maintain, or maybe through the rite of kindling, regain their lost humanity. offering it 2 bonfires through that kindling. In either case, it appears they've been tricked, as based on a tip from Knight Lautrec that Rhea and her companions have been abandoned in the tomb. He says a nubile cleric would be replete with humanity, as he laughs in a kind of sinister manner. And after buying this tip, he'll continue to say he got it from a fleeing old man, and that all of his trinkets and robes won't help him now. After speaking with Lautrec, you can confront Petrus, who will confess to abandoning the young cleric in the Tomb of Giants. And all he has to say is that you can do as you please with her. He, being Petrus, doesn't expect her to survive being left in the tomb. If you choose to rescue her, you will have to dispatch her 2 companions, Nico and Vince, who have lost their mind and fully gone hollow. I'm assuming that they died and revived multiple times protecting Rhea, and that led ultimately to the degradation of their humanity and eventual hollowing. Once you've killed Nico and Vince, Rhea will thank you and make her way to the undead church, praying at the altar where you found the first Firekeeper soul. Speaking with her in the church will lead Petrus to confront you, saying she's not worth her salt without her family name. And here we see a transition in Petrus from a general air of apathy to being openly malicious. He clearly doesn't think that Rhea is worth the weight that her name carries, being a noble from Thorolund. If you buy all of her inventory of advanced miracles and speak with her, she'll move on to the Duke's Archive, where she is imprisoned and eventually hollows. Without the rite of kindling, it appears she's unable to maintain her humanity, and we know she doesn't have the rite of kindling because we, the player, do have it at this point. Alternatively, if you don't speak with her after she goes to the Undead Church, she will eventually be murdered by Petrus, who advances, again, from overt apathy to harmful malice. This is confirmed by the voice line that Petrus has if you attack him and he manages to kill you. He will say, "Too bad for you, I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing." And if you successfully kill him after Rhea's death, he'll drop her talisman, the Ivory Talisman, which its flavor text reads, "Medium for casting miracles of the gods." Ivory talismans are granted only to female clerics, and their value is affected dramatically by their owner's faith. Now, there's an incredible amount going on under the surface of the faith-based questline in the game, and we never really learn Petrus's motives for his betrayal. I'm going to speculate that he was after the rite of kindling for himself. He believed he deserved the power to retain his humanity above that of his peers. And ultimately, in an act of cowardice, when confronted with the dangers of the tomb, he fled for his life. And then further exacerbating his smoldering rage, we save Rhea, someone not worth her salt, and he tries to murder her in either an act of jealousy or in self-preservation so that he doesn't have someone to attest to his act of cowardice. What do you think his motives were? What do you think Petrus was thinking when he either attempts to murder Rhea or when he's about to murder Rhea? I want to know. I want to know what you think, and I want to talk to you about it in the comments below. This is my first lore video, and I'd like to make more, but a lot's going to be determined by how it's received. As always, thank you for watching. And if you want to see more Dark Souls content, please make sure to like this video and hit that sub button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.